said you didn't want him to see it coming.
Yes.
What did you hit him with?
A hammer.
A hammer?
Yes.
Okay.
And I basically killed him with it.
Meet Shelby Neely, a seemingly ordinary guy with an extraordinary confession to the murder of his father-in-law, Richard Ivanchik. But as the details unravel, it becomes clear that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and the story takes a horrifying turn when Shelby reveals the fate of his mother-in-law, Laura.
So where are you at when she comes in the front door?
Oh, I welcome her and everything, and then she's walking towards the kitchen, and then I get her before she sees anything coming.
So she never saw her husband laying there?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
As he calmly sips his coffee, he now talks about his third target, his brother-in-law, Nick.
Same thing, same hammer?
Yeah.
So the same hammer you used the same hammer to kill all three of them?
Yes.
You knew you f***ed him up the most, so I was assuming that you saw the damage.
No, because blood went everywhere. And
So as you're hitting him, blood's going everywhere.
Yeah, that was the first time that happened.
But even after all these shocking confessions, Shelby still had another disturbing secret that was about to send a shiver down the spine of the detectives. This bone-chilling story started off with a 911 call in January 2019, made by Richard's elder son, whose name we chose to keep private.
Good afternoon. I live in West Palm Beach, and I'm calling about a possible welfare check on my father. He lives in Tarpon Springs. I've been trying to reach him since just before Christmas, and without any luck. Him and his wife.
What's the name of the person we're going to be checking on?
Richard Ivanchik, Ivancit, and his wife's name is Laura.
When police arrived at the address, a foul odor greeted them. Inside the house, they discovered the bodies of 71-year-old Richard Ivanchik, 59-year-old Laura Ivanchik, and 25-year-old Nick Ivanchik, all in an advanced state of decomposition. The walls showed rough paint stains, and it seemed like attempts had been made to clean the bodies with chemical agents. Searching for clues, officers noticed the family's car was missing and found a shallow hole dug beside the house. When police spoke to the neighbors to gather any information, they reported seeing a young man in his 20s digging the hole, accompanied by a child. The description of the man was clear, and the officers immediately recognized him as Shelby Neely, Richard and Laura's son-in-law. As Shelby's name came up, another concern surfaced. His wife, Jamie, had also been missing. This raised a chilling question. Could the unthinkable have happened to Jamie as well?
Where do you want to start?
Well, we're not going bullshit. We know why you're here. It's for the 3 deaths and everything.
Okay.
Correct? Okay, well, obviously I did it. I'm trying to think of where I begin this long story.
You want me to ask you a question to get you started?
I mean...
Or do you want to just think about it and you can start wherever you want?
I mean... The story kind of like... Because I know your questions are basically like, why the f*** did this happen for obvious reasons? I mean...
Jamie.
Yes.
Okay, and how did you meet Jamie?
I was a manager at Burger King by this point. Her brother was my employee.
And where is this at? What city and state?
This is Ohio. This is actually up here.
Okay.
Before we all moved down here. Parma,
Okay.
Ohio.
What city in Ohio?
Parma.
Parma, okay.
Mm-hmm. I went home with him one night and to smoke weed, and she was just sitting there in the garage, and we just sort of just hit it off from there.
Okay.
And I started dating her and living with her, and that's when shit really started getting bad. Everything was cool at first. Occasionally we would argue, and she would smack me here and there. And I was like, it's whatever, it's a woman, they lose control of their emotions. And by this point, of course, this is after the whole domestic violence bullshit. I'm really not trying to hit a woman and all that. So, unfortunately, their daughter was very put it? Disrespectful towards rules when living under... Can I get some water? I'm sorry.
Sure.
As he casually insults every single woman on Earth, Shelby sips his coffee and quenches his thirst with a glass of water before revealing a disturbing story.
How do you think you're doing as a dad?
How do I think I'm doing as a dad?
Yeah. With your kids.
I think I did pretty damn good
Yeah.
as a dad. Yeah.
What do you think about Jamie as a mother? How do you think she does?
She did not do good. She would get into a mode that she just could not control. When I tell you, it would literally be like looking into the eyes of a demon. It literally was. So she came at my daughter with a knife after she had like got done severely beating me. And there are scars on my body and shit, you know. And I'm not giving myself an excuse, man. I'm just telling you the reason as to why shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come at my daughter with a knife, I have to stop you.
Right.
And unfortunately, I went too far. I choked her out, and then when the blood started coming out of her nose, I stopped. But
Was it too late?
it was too late.
And where was that at?
This was at a house. This was the last house that we had down in Florida, and this was about a year ago.
So she's been deceased for a year.
Yes,
Where is she now?
I buried her in that backyard.
She's in the backyard of that home.
Yes, buried. All right. So say this is like the little deck that you walk in on.
Okay.
You turn immediately right and like walk 5 steps out, and she should be buried right there.
Jamie, who was initially believed to be missing, had actually been dead for a year. This meant Shelby had managed to avoid capture from January 2018 to January 2019. Now, the pressing question was, how did he manage to stay under the radar for so long?
Did anybody ever ask you where she was?
Oh yeah, I mean I lied.
Well, I obviously you're gonna lie, you know, something like that has happened. But I'm like, who asks you where she is? Like, doesn't Nick go, hey, where's my sister? Or her parents call you? Or
Well, yeah. And thankfully, I knew her so well. I knew how to act like her. It was weird, man. You know, they never talked to her over the phone or anything. I would just act like her. I was on text message and everything. You know, sometimes I would act angry at the parents and all this stuff, but dude, I would just feel bad. So I would like send them pictures and everything of the kids because like they were persistent.
Shelby killed 4 people who were family to him, all under the guise of protecting his kids. His paranoia about believing his children might turn out like their mother Jamie is hard to comprehend. His statements reveal his prejudiced nature and even contradictions. He said he had to do something to save himself from being caught after killing Jamie, and he knew that her family was the biggest threat to him. So, one can get the idea as to why he actually killed the Ivanchik family.
You know, I kept putting it off. You know, they were enjoying time with their grandkids, and
at what point in time did you decide I have to kill them? Was it when you were driving there?
No. I fought with it literally up until I did it.
Okay, so when was your first thought of, I need to kill them?
Oh, like it was definitely on my way there.
While you're driving there,
Yeah.
you're thinking to myself, I need to kill them.
Yeah, like if I'm going to survive and raise these kids and not get caught, and then I get there
Because they pose a threat to what you believe was a threat to your custody of your children.
Shelby had planned to kill the Ivanchik family from the start, but claimed he held off from doing so, and instead continued to watch them spend time with his kids. Despite this, he went through with the murders, showing he was more sadistic than emotional. It seems Shelby doesn't truly understand the concept of emotions, no matter what he says.
And do you remember what the date was?
December 15th and December 16th.
December 15th and December 16th is when you killed them?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember?
The
Okay.
parents, go ahead with the
No,
question.
no, I don't want to stop you. Go ahead. Said the parents.
The parents passed away first, and then I dragged their bodies into their room, cleaned it up, waited for Nick to get home, spent one last night with Nick, and then when he went to bed, I killed him too.
It's quite weird to know that Nick didn't even question the whereabouts of his parents for a complete day. But currently focusing on Shelby, he confessed to the murders of his in-laws as if it were nothing. He admitted to waiting for the perfect moment, constantly thinking about killing them, all while remaining as calm as a summer sea. His demeanor won't change, but the details he's trying to reveal will only grow more horrifying.
What did you hit him with?
A hammer.
A hammer?
Yes.
Okay.
And I basically killed him with it.
Okay. So when you say, where's the first place you struck him with the hammer?
In the back of the head.
Back of the head, like right in the middle of the back of the head?
Yeah.
You just came up behind him and
Yeah.
hit him? Does he fall?
Yes, he falls.
Just falls to his knees, or
No, he's unconscious. And then,
one shot, he's out?
Well, he's
Unconscious.
unconscious, yeah.
Okay.
And then I whack him again a couple of times on the head to give him a quick death.
Do you remember where on the head?
No, because if I'm being honest with you, I wasn't trying to commit the act in the first place, so I'm not really trying to look. I know I definitely got him right here, but all I really did was bash him a couple of times and then walk away.
Okay.
And then he passed away.
Did you hear him still breathing, or?
When I did, I would go over there and whack him just to try to get him to be done, because I didn't want him to suffer anymore.
So after you hit him the first couple times, you walk away,
Mhm.
and I just don't want to put words in your mouth. You hear him, so you go back and you hit him a couple more times?
Yes.
Okay. And how many times did you have to keep going back?
That was only one time that I had to go back.
Okay, so if you had to guesstimate how many times you struck him with a hammer, what would you think?
I would say 5 to 7 times.
5 to 7 times. And it's right in the area by where your kids' toys were at?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are Bella and Oliver at when this is happening?
They're in the room.
They're in the
Yeah.
bedroom you were staring at with the door closed?
Yes.
Okay. Did they come out?
No, they can't open doors or anything.
They can't open doors?
No.
Okay.
No, I had the room completely baby-proof for them, so they were safe.
Shelby claimed his kids were safe, but safe from whom? Their innocent grandparents, or the monster of a father who is savagely bashing a man's head just outside their door. Regardless, it was now time to hear the details of Laura's murder.
You greet her at the door.
Yeah, and then
She starts
walking towards the kitchen. Still
Okay.
doesn't notice her husband.
Okay.
And then I basically take her out before she can notice anything.
Okay. And where do you hit her?
Same place.
Back of the head?
Yes.
Okay. She drops immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
So she's in the same room with her husband?
no, she's in a different room.
Okay, where?
She is in the living room, walking towards the kitchen.
Kitchen?
He's in the dining room,
Okay.
towards the left and everything. Like I said, I don't know how she did not see him when.
He killed both of them an hour apart, but rather than taking a moment to feel guilt or regret over his actions, he calmly and patiently waited to murder Laura. This clearly shows that while Shelby might not fit the textbook definition of a psychopath, he undeniably exhibits psychopathic tendencies. It would be fair to say he's at least on the borderline.
Okay. So they're both down.
Drag both of them.
Which one do you drag first?
Definitely Rich.
Rich, he's on the area rug?
Yeah.
So you gotta tell me how you did it, because he's a pretty big dude, and I'm not taking this offense. You're not near as big as he is.
Oh yeah,
You had to like busted your ass to get him back there.
God, did I ever?
Yeah. How long did it take you to get him from there down the hall and into the room?
Dude, honestly, only 5 minutes.
Probably your adrenaline through the roof, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta be like, do you know when Nick's coming home, or is it like, oh shit, I gotta get going, Nick could come home, I gotta get them out of the way?
At that point, I didn't know when Nick was coming home. So you're right. Definitely adrenaline played a big part into it, I think, moving him. But yeah, I got him out of there in like 5 minutes. And then I moved her in there. And then I cleaned up all the blood with the mop and everything. And he didn't notice anything when he got home. I finally did get a hold of him.
Where was, and how did you get Laura into the bathroom?
There was another rug
Mhm.
that was close to her. I threw a towel on her. Sorry, I'm fine. And then I put her on the rug, and then I dragged the rug.
Okay, but you brought Rich first.
Yes.
How did you get her past Rich? Because he was, from my recollection, he's laying on his back
Yeah.
with the rug covering him in the doorway. You have to pass the doorway to get into the bathroom.
No, I'm sorry. I think I brought her in first.
Okay, that's why I'm asking these questions, because you could have done it, but I want to make sure we're right on the order, because for you to get her over the top of him would have been a pretty good feat.
Yeah.
So
no, that would not.
Now that you think about it, you're positive you drug her back first.
Yes, she got drugged back first.
Okay.
I apologize. about
Okay,
that.
so you get both of them on their area rugs into the room, close the door. You just chill with the kids until Nick comes home?
Yeah.
Okay. What
Of
time
course,
did you
everything.
come?
It's like 6 or 7.
After committing 2 horrific murders, Shelby calmly waited for Nick to arrive. What he did next was nothing short of pure barbarity.
Because I saw a lot of blood stains on the couch.
Couch wasn't moved at that point.
I understand that, but is the blood staining that's on the couch from you striking him? Does he fall against the couch? On
no,
the
that's
couch.
That's from Nick.
That's from Nick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Dad falls there, nothing gets on that. You mop up the floor.
Yeah, the couch was right here at that point. It's not moved over there or anything. I moved it over there during the process that I stay there.
Okay.
Nick was asleep on the couch when I killed him, so that's where all the blood stains on the couch come from.
Okay.
And then I moved the couch to block off that room so the kids don't run in.
Where are the dogs?
I put the dogs in there.
Were they still alive?
Yes, dogs don't die until like literally the last minute. And
Like before you leave?
yeah.
Okay. So you just close the dogs in there with the 2
Mhm.
that you just killed.
Mhm.
Okay. You're playing with the kids until 5 or 6 when Nick comes home.
Yeah.
Okay. You said you wanted to spend one last night with Nick.
Yeah.
But you said you have to kill him because obviously you killed his parents.
Yes.
Okay. So he comes home. Tell me what happens when he comes home.
He comes home, he brings some weed and everything. He's got edibles and all that stuff. I start giving him money and I order us a pizza. I get us more weed. That type of stuff.
How did you get more weed?
Huh?
How did you get more weed?
Oh, he went to the dealer to get some more and everything.
Did you do it with him?
No, I stayed home.
Okay. And he has a car, right? A minivan?
Yeah.
Where's his minivan?
Minivan's parked in that driveway. That's his minivan.
The blue one that's there is his minivan.
Yes.
Because I talked to a bunch of people and they kept saying, no, that's not his minivan. And he drives a dark minivan, dark colored minivan. They kept saying this dark colored minivan. We couldn't find this dark colored minivan.
Old people are idiots sometimes, to be honest with you.
So that
they think
minivan-
they noticed something. Yeah.
So that minivan
is
that's still at the house is Nick's. Okay. I'm sorry. I know I interrupted you. Nick comes home. You guys are smoking weed, eating edible marijuana together. Just,
Yeah.
you guys have been friends for a long time. You want to spend one last night with him. So go ahead.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing much more to it.
What time is, so I'm assuming you guys are here watching TV together and he falls asleep at some point.
It will soon be revealed what exactly happened to the dogs. But first comes the disturbing details of how Shelby killed his brother-in-law, Nicholas Ivanchik.
So you're watching TV. He falls asleep.
Yeah.
Where are you at when he falls asleep on that couch with all the blood stains? But it's at that point in time.
Here's how it happened. We're watching The Grinch and everything. He gets tired. He goes to sleep. I put the kids in the room. I wait until I think he's asleep. I fall asleep myself. And then I wake up at like 3, 4 in the morning. And then I grab the hammer. I tiptoe to him. And then I do what I did to them. I don't like saying it, but I do what I did to them.
Same thing, same hammer.
Yeah.
So the same hammer you used the same hammer to kill all 3 of them.
Yes.
So he's asleep. I know it's hard to say, but we're almost there. You've gotten through 2.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
I know.
So you go up to Nick, and then what happens?
I crack him right here.
In the temple?
Yeah, and then I just keep hitting, like 7 to 8 times.
Is it any time does he wake up, or?
He like jolted awake at first, I think, but his body was in too much shock to like really process what happened.
Right, like he never like opened his eyes or said anything or anything like that.
No, none of that ever happened. I made sure that they, except with him, unfortunately, I made sure that they didn't feel any pain. They basically died instantaneously.
Okay.
Besides him.
So you kill him on the couch. Okay. Then what do you do with his body?
I take it into his room.
Did you put him on anything, or do you just drag him?
I covered up his head and everything. Granted, I did it in the dark, and for some reason I knew that I'd hit him up the most out of everybody, and I don't know how.
And how did you know that? Just from the facial damage that you saw?
I didn't see any facial damage.
You said you knew you f***ed him up the most, so I was assuming that you saw the damage.
No, because blood went everywhere. And
As you're hitting him, blood's going everywhere.
Yeah, that was the first time that happened. So.
Okay. So when you hit the other two, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't a splatter rate.
Interrogation is unlike most. Shelby isn't holding anything back, nor is he trying to justify his actions. But what makes it truly unsettling is his complete lack of empathy as he describes everything in chilling detail. If he's trying to portray himself as an anti-hero or a psychopath, he's certainly doing a disturbingly convincing job. He exhibits clear psychopathic traits: impulsivity, egocentrism, parasitism, and lack of remorse, but he has not yet been deceptive. Or has he?
Trust me, my kids are my #1 priority.
I believe you wholeheartedly. For someone to do something of this extent to protect their kids, I'm not saying it's right. And I know you know it's not right? You know right from wrong, right? You know what you did was wrong. But at the time, I think maybe you felt you didn't have any other options, right?
Exactly.
You were pretty much out of gas, right? Out of options.
Yeah, I'm sure you're probably very surprised with my cooperation too.
I've been doing this a long time, and
not really.
You never know. Fast forward just a little bit, and I know you'll tell me these are being completely cooperative. I know you went to the Home Depot in Port Richey, and you bought the tarps and the rope.
Oh yeah.
And what
that was basically to put their bodies in, tie up, and put in the backyard or the front.
Where you were digging the trench.
Yeah.
Okay. What day did you start digging the trench? If you killed them on the 15th and 16th, what day do you think it was you started digging the trench?
I would say a week later.
A week later?
Yeah. I'll definitely say a week later.
So you're staying in the house with them deceased and with your kids from the 15th and 16th until approximately a week later.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming it's got to start smelling by then?
Well, yeah, I bought shit to help with the smell too. Incense was always going on. I had those Febreze things. I had like car shit. Kids were no longer sleeping in their room. They were like sleeping out there.
On those little love seats?
Yeah. There was another couch too, that dark brown couch.
Mm-hmm.
That they would sleep on too.
Okay.
But yeah, they couldn't get buried. I couldn't move Rich.
So you start digging the trench. I mean, you made a lot of progress on that trench.
Yeah.
I mean, how many hours do you think you worked on that? Because that's a lot of work.
It only took me like 2 hours.
2 hours to dig that, and it's the shovels.
That was me being paranoid.
That was you on adrenaline and bang, and I got to get this done. I got to get these people buried, and I got to get out of here.
No, that was me going like, these people are definitely going to get sketched out here pretty soon by me digging this hole.
Right.
So I would go out and dig it little bits at a time.
Shelby then set out to cover up the massacre, even going so far as to switch Nick's Xbox with a PS4 to prevent anyone from tracking Nick's Microsoft account. While this might seem like a minor detail, it highlights just how meticulously Shelby had planned everything. And now he was about to pose a question that no criminal would ever dare ask a detective.
Do you mind if I ask you something?
Sure.
Since I'm being cooperative, I'm just interested. Where did I with the car? Like, how'd you guys catch up to me? Was it the car that got me? I mean, I know I left it behind a bunch. I'm just curious.
There's a lot of things. There was no real one thing. There was a lot of things. I mean, you did things I think you may have thought you were doing them carefully, but you didn't.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into specifics.
Don't give me specifics. There's no reason to.
Yeah. I will say this. There wasn't one thing. So you can't beat yourself up over man, if I'd have just done that one thing, you did a lot.
Okay.
It was traceable.
Okay.
So, what else do you take from the house?
His coin collection.
His coin collection.
This was on top of the fridge.
On top of the fridge where you live now?
Yes.
Okay. And what about IDs?
Yes.
Driver's licenses?
Yeah, I took that.
From who?
Rich and Nick. I could not find Laura's.
You looked for it, but you couldn't find it?
Yeah.
And what was the purpose of that?
Honestly, I know this company called Live Ops where you can work at home, but you gotta have a clean record. So that's what I was going to use that for.
You're going to use Nick's identity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Rich? Why did you take his?
Just to not leave behind evidence, It wasn't really the smartest thing to do, to be honest with you. I know you're trying to find a comprehensible reason as to why, but...
Right. Well, like I said, I'm trying to understand your mindset, what's going through your head, why you would do things.
Mm-hmm.
And so the coin collection...
was to get money, obviously.
Right.
So I can...
And there was sheets of money too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see the sheet of money in there.
So there's a sheet of money, collectible coins...
In the suitcase. Here. Want me to write it all down for you?
Sure. Yeah, right. You can write down everything you took from the house.
The murders of the Ivanchik family are clear by now, but it's obvious that many would want to know what happened to the dogs. Animal cruelty is a serious offense, and here's what unfolded.
At what point do you kill the dogs? You said it was right before you left the house.
So, the dog that was by the woman, or by Laura, he died on his own, basically.
Starving?
No. He had diabetes, and I didn't know how to,
do the
administer that stuff.
Okay,
so,
is that one of the ones because there was one dog in a garbage bag, another dog in a garbage bag, and there was one in a rug.
This is the one on the rug.
The one in the rug died on his own because you didn't give him his insulin.
Well, he didn't die he was dying.
Okay.
And then I put him out of his misery.
How did you do that?
I just whacked him once with the side of the hammer, and he instantly died.
Okay.
I knew that he would die instantly, being that he was a small breed and everything.
Okay.
As far as the other dogs go, they got put in the bag the last night, and they suffocated and everything.
Okay, so you didn't hit him with the hammer, you just tied the bag shut and suffocated him. Okay. Because I examined the dogs, I couldn't see any obvious damage. So that was one of my theories, was that they suffocated. The only thing was, the bags are dark, and I would assume the dog would have tried to scratch their way out, but I guess they didn't. Or I just didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Shelby killed 4 people he once loved and 3 defenseless dogs, claiming it was all for the right reasons. Yet his actions are so horrifying that even the devil might shy away from him.
I've basically told everything that I wanted to tell.
Okay.
I've made my,
Major piece.
You know that I didn't do this because I wanted to be evil and I wanted to kill people. I did it because I felt that I had no choice at that time period. You also know my wife was very abusive, both physically and mentally and emotionally. And like I said, please feel free to look into her record, and you can see all the police calls and all that shit. You'll see that. But
Okay. And like I said, we know you like Domino's pizza. I know that. I saw the Domino's boxes in the house and on the patio, and Who like, is it the kids that love the chicken nuggets, or is that you too?
That's the kids. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because that's just what I had going on at the house before you guys jumped.
Did like, Dad even want chicken? Oh, does your daughter talk? A little bit. And obviously your son's too young to talk, right?
Yeah.
Is he walking?
He's walking, yeah.
Is he?
I feel bad for them though. I really do, because...
Well, I feel bad for them also. I mean, their mother's gone, and for all intents and purposes, now their dad's gone because of what, unfortunately, is bad decisions.
Shelby Neely's mother was granted custody of the children, while Shelby himself pleaded guilty to all charges on December 13th, 2023. It's surprising that someone who confessed so calmly took 5 years to admit guilt officially. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison for killing Jamie, avoiding the death penalty by assisting officers in locating her body and cooperating throughout the investigation. For the murders of the Ivanchik family, a judge scheduled the penalty phase for October 2024. During this phase, a jury will decide whether Shelby would face the death penalty or life in prison without parole for the triple homicide.
Oh, no! No! No!
This is 46-year-old Matthew Lewis Malacone, and he just witnessed a horrifying ordeal. Matthew had discovered that his wife, Kimberly, was having an affair with a man named Danielle Giannone. He lost control and stormed over to Danielle's house to confront him.
Stop it! Stay away from my wife! Stop it! Stop it! Stay away from my wife!
What followed was a violent rat chase.
Stop it, man! Stop it! Stop it!
The confrontation quickly escalated into a full-blown gunfight between the two men. Alarmed by the chaos, one of Danielle's family members called 911, desperate to prevent a fatal tragedy.
Hello?
I need an officer. Somebody just chased you to get my house.
Listen.
But it was too late, and things had already taken a deadly turn. Someone was shot.
911, what is the address of the emergency? What is the address?
Someone's house and he pulled out a gun. My wife's been shot.
Okay.
My wife's been shot.
Officers arrived at the scene within moments. Kimberly was rushed to the hospital for urgent medical care, while Matthew was taken into custody for questioning.
Is she okay?
I wasn't out there, sir. I've been here the whole time.
You can't find out for me?
I told you we couldn't tell you, sir.
Oh my God. No. God, help her. God, please. She didn't deserve this. God, help her.
All right, here's what's going to happen.
Is she okay?
Matt,
Yeah.
if I unhandcuff you, you're going to behave yourself?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we don't have any issues there.
What?
When I unhandcuff you, I want you to have a seat, okay, partner?
Oh boy, it's not good.
No, it's not good, but...
Is she alive? Is she alive?
Hold on. Relax. Sit down.
Is my wife alive?
We're going to talk real quick here, okay? And your wife is Kimberly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Please. Please.
She didn't make it. She died.
Oh no! 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 Oh my God, no! No! Oh my God, no!
After the screaming and yelling, Matthew pulls himself together. You might expect the news to quell his anger and fill him with guilt, but that's not where Matthew's focus lies.
No! No! What just happened? Psycho! That Oh my God! Did he make it? That's why my wife's dead, is because I'm a horrible shot! Is he alive?
You can't answer that?
I mean, you told me you wanted your attorney. We can have a conversation if you'd like. It's up to you.
Now, I learned that in CPL class. If a firearm's been discharged, wait for your attorney. I'll wait for my attorney. Oh my God. She did nothing.
Matthew demands an attorney before he speaks, but he's impatient. Rather than waiting for the lawyer he asked for himself, he continues talking, possibly driven by his lingering anger.
Oh my God. Why would he do that? Like, she went there to talk to him, and this guy comes out like goddamn Rambo. Firing his shot. I had my hands in the air with no weapon. My clip was concealed, officer detective. My gun was in its holster and concealed. I was like this. And as I said, stop talking to my wife. And as soon as I finished wife, a shot went off. And she screamed and he did this. And as soon as he did this, I ducked behind that car. And then I grabbed my firearm and I came up over the hood and I just started shooting. I emptied two clips. I had to replace one. I don't even think I hit him.
How many rounds? Do you have any idea how many rounds?
No.
You said you replaced a clip. What kind of gun was it?
9mm.
Okay. Did you bring more than one gun or?
No, one gun.
Just one? Okay. And so tell me how this transpired today. You guys were at home when this conversation took place and you decided to leave, or how did that?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Like, how did you get on the topic? Like, what is this something that's been going on for a while? Like,
Oh, I found out about it again 45 days-ish ago. I knew about it, like I told you.
so like a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Matthew believes the affair had rekindled just a month and a half ago, but in reality, it had been going on for years. Unaware that the affair with Danielle had been going on for years, Matthew believed it was a recent betrayal. His emotions were understandable at this point in the story, but what he chose to do on July 12, 2022 would change his life forever.
And then I found out when she was 43. And we had a nice talk. Do you love me? Yes. Okay, come back to me. And I trusted her, and I never looked at her phone. And then 6 years later, a friend says, hey, man, I think your wife's still seeing that guy. Mm-hmm. So I confronted her, and she didn't lie. She said, yeah, no, I have been. I'm sorry, And I said, well, baby, I can't go on like this. I can't be, your husband and you cheating.
Yeah.
So either you break it off this time, or if I hear about it again, we're getting divorced. So she said, I'll break it off. And I trusted her. And then that's when we got into the conversation, I guess today. I said, so how did you break it off? Oh, you never broke it off. You haven't seen him since February. You never told him, get lost, stop contacting me, we're breaking up.
Yeah.
Thing. And she goes, no. I said, so what? You're just going to wait around for him to call again? Because he'll do that, just like he has been. And she goes, well, that makes sense. She goes, I'll break it off. And I said, all right. She goes, let's go now. I think it was 8:30 when we got there. It was light, or just getting dark, 9 o'clock maybe.
So it was her idea to drive to his house to break it off with you?
Yeah, she wanted to prove it to me,
It seems Matthew gave Kimberly many chances, only to be betrayed each time. He could have walked away, but perhaps this time he truly believed the affair would finally end. At this point, it seems like his anger is justified, but it's still too early to judge, especially since he brought a firearm with him, which doesn't work in his favor.
You guys
break it off.
Were you guys drinking today?
Yeah.
Okay. How about drugs? Were you doing any drugs?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
A little.
So you're doing marijuana, doing some drinking, and you decide to go up there with her.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna let her go alone.
And why was that?
Because his fiance cornered my wife about 1.5 years ago. Followed her from our house to a Panera Bread and cornered her and threatened her.
I thought you said the fiance didn't know that they were
still hooking up. She knew that they were.
Oh.
She doesn't know that they have still been hooking up.
Okay.
A private investigator was hired by this guy's fiance. He's just a scumbag. He's just always had affairs with married women. He's been through 3 or 4 fiancés.
Okay.
He's engaged right now, sleeping with my wife. Got a baby on the way with his fiance, and she doesn't know about that he's been sleeping with my wife and probably God knows who else, you know.
Danielle doesn't come across as an honest man, especially after learning about his affair with Kimberly. While Matthew did hurt him, Kimberly died in the process. Matthew's anger is understandable, but what truly happened that day needs to be fully understood before making any judgments. And the detective knows that this is a confusing event, at least at this moment.
After smoking, doing drinking, you decide it's a good idea to go up there with your firearm and have your wife finally cut it off with the guy she's having an affair with.
I thought it was going to be easy, man. I thought it was going to be, hey, stop calling me. I'm done. And he was going to say, no problem. We were going to get in the car and fucking turn around and go home.
And you're saying your wife was driving and your wife was in that driver's seat every time you guys went to leave, went to do whatever. You're saying now that your wife was in the driver's seat.
Yes, she drove there and she got in the driver's seat and put it in reverse.
To back up.
Correct.
But the car wouldn't, what happened with the car?
I don't know if we hit something. It was smoking. Maybe he shot it. I don't know. It wouldn't move.
What do you mean you were, what is that?
I had it in reverse and it felt like it was stuck either in some mud.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going. And then it started smoking from the hood. And when I saw that, I got out of the car.
So it was like, was it like, you had it in gear, but you were stomping on the gas?
When Kim was shot, she fell over to the side. He's shooting at us at this point. I hop from the passenger into the driver, turn it, and it won't go. I got it, and I'm like this, you know? Mm-hmm. And it won't go. So then finally I put it in park and I get out and I go behind the vehicle and that's where I called you.
Okay. Honestly, I think you drove up there to fucking give him a what for.
No. That's not the truth. She drove up there because she wanted to show me that it was over. She goes, I'll go break it off with them right now. It'll take 2 seconds. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was getting shot at the time. What a fuck up. Oh my God. Oh my God. I had no idea. What the f***?
Alright.
For blood in the garage or a bullet hole in the garage.
Yeah. Also the cameras.
Okay, there you go. Beautiful. We got cameras. He's got cameras? Does he?
I can't tell you all that.
Well, I hope he does. You'll look for those, correct?
We gather all the facts.
Okay, good.
Everybody's got a story, right, to tell.
I hope he's got cameras.
You know, the problem is that you drove up there in that driveway, and that started this whole chain of events, is the issue.
What's illegal about that?
Well, your wife's dead. as a result of this decision to drive up to his driveway and decide to, whatever, confront him, break it off, however you want to word that.
Break it off.
Break it off, whatever.
That's what you wanted to do.
I understand. I'm just telling you. The decision making that took place to drive up there and do that after doing drinking. Now here we are.
God. Oh my God.
Do you have a neighbor or anything that's real close, that is close with your family, that one of your neighbors on either side or anything like that? Nothing.
No.
Matthew now realizes he's far from safe. Although it might seem like the officers are going easy on Danielle, who accidentally shot Kimberly, the law comes into play when someone enters another's property with a loaded weapon and threatens violence.
We are gathering. We got a lot of evidence to gather. So
They're at the house
we're going to be taking care of all that. They're processing the scene
immediately, right?
But it's yeah.
Okay.
We're not leaving there until we get everything. I'll be right back with you. All right.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, my wife is dead. Oh my God. No.
Further investigation revealed that Kimberly had sent nearly $60,000 in multiple payments to Danielle, intensifying Matthew's anger over the affair. Taking everything into account, officers concluded that Matthew's actions were premeditated, leading to charges of voluntary manslaughter, assault with intent to murder, and firearm use during a felony. On July 10, 2024, Matthew was sentenced to 7 to 15 years for manslaughter, 12 to 40 years for assault, and 6 years for firearm-related charges. It's tragic how an affair can destroy so many lives, and how decisions made under the influence of anger or intoxication can lead to disaster. Matthew became a victim of his own emotions and tragically lost the woman he loved in the process.
Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
My dad.
Your dad told you that nobody was with her, it was just her?
Yeah. In their bedroom.
This is 6-year-old Ryland, who's being questioned by the detectives following the incident on the morning of April 7th, 2018, in which his mother, 25-year-old Brandy Colenza, shot herself. However, in a startling twist, Ryland reveals a vital clue pointing the detectives toward the real mastermind.
We did ask him. And you know what he told us? He told us that he heard his mom scream. Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
At this moment, 36-year-old Keith Johansson realizes that the detectives have uncovered the disturbing secret he's been desperately trying to hide. Yet, this is just the beginning of a heartbreaking tale. As the investigators dig deeper, they stumble upon a few pieces of evidence that unveil a different story, transforming Keith from a concerned husband into the prime suspect. Brandy Colenza and Keith Johansson had been married for a year and had recently moved into their new home. Brandy was a loving mother and wife, and to her, Keith was everything she had ever wanted. The family was bound by an unbreakable and immense love for each other, but they had no idea that a tragic twist was about to shatter their beautiful world forever. When the deputies arrived at the crime scene, Brandy had already passed away, and Keith seemed to be utterly devastated.
She's gone? Oh, God!
Relax. My wife, man. Right, bud? It's Brandy Johansson. What's going on today?
Nothing.
You guys were talking?
Yeah, man, we got up. I took a shower. She just made her coffee.
Okay.
When I went to take a shower, I heard boom, boom, boom. I got out. And she was laying on the floor with guns right next to her. And I was like, no. Okay. So I called you guys immediately.
What time did you guys wake
can you come to my house now?
You guys arguing or anything?
Nothing like that.
Okay. So you got in the shower. How long were you in the shower, would you say?
Maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And I heard
5
boom,
minutes.
boom, but I thought it was a
How
balloon.
many shots did you hear?
2.
You heard 2?
And I thought it was a balloon at first. Then I heard this secondary shot. And I ran out there and seen her laying there going, so I called you guys immediately.
But to the detective's surprise, something strange had happened during the 911 call that contradicted Keith's concern toward his wife, something the detectives could sense was odd.
Can you are you applying pressure to that wound?
No, I can't reach her like that. I'm wet. I'm sliding on my floors.
You can't apply pressure.
I can't see it. Listen, I got wood floors and I'm sliding. I don't want to risk hurting her or possibly one of the guns going off too.
During the investigation, the detectives also found several weapons at Keith's house, but their unease didn't stop there. A series of peculiar details heightened their suspicion. Initially, Keith told the detectives that he was in the shower at the time of the incident. However, when they arrived at his place, he was not wet, suggesting that he had not actually taken a shower. Furthermore, the detectives noticed that the firearms with which Brandy had supposedly shot herself were deliberately positioned at an exact angle facing one another. This raised suspicion among detectives that if Brandy had accidentally shot herself, the guns would not have fallen in that manner. The clues seemed to cast suspicion on Keith, but the detectives needed more certainty. Seeking clarity and desperate to find the answers, they immediately took him in for questioning.
I wanted to see if you needed a chaplain or something like that.
Well, like after all this, I probably need someone to talk to now. You know, and I'm starting to really question my faith at this point. You know, and I can't wrap around why she'd be taken. I mean, she's so young. We just got married not too long ago, less than a year. We're starting out our life in a brand new house, and I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I can't wrap my head around it. And it's hard.
And how are the two of us getting along?
Perfect.
Perfect?
Perfect. I just can't, you know. Like, how am I going to live without her? You know what I mean? How am I going to go back to the house?
Keith's interaction with Chaplin exposed his conflicting emotions. His concern for his wife seemed genuine, but it also unveiled his self-centered preoccupation, providing an insight into his thought process. However, as the detectives began to question him, his statements began to shed light on the unanswered.
How would you describe your relationship?
The best one that I've had yet. I mean, she was everything that I wanted her to be. Everybody has their problems here and there, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's very rare. I've had one bad relationship before.
What would you say was the biggest issue that you guys have in your relationship?
I mean, you know, like we'd have our arguments here and there, stupid little things. But never nothing violent, never nothing too crazy, you know? So I would say our relationship was, you know, okay with the exception of a little bit of bickering here and there. Mm-hmm. You know, I just don't understand the whole situation. I really don't. Do you guys have any information to maybe clarify it a little bit?
Were you guys faithful with one another? Was it just a...
For the most part, yeah. She had this online thing, you know what I mean, that she admitted to. You know, I've been flirting online, but whoopee. Who cares? You didn't do nothing physically.
Is there any chance at all that something different happened that you have not told us?
None. Because that's what happened. I got no reason to lie to you guys. I mean, you guys are investigators, for God's sake. That's what I seen, and that's what I heard.
Keith insisted that everything in their life was perfect, denying any signs that could lead Brandy to take her own life. Yet, his own statements unexpectedly exposed his ongoing issue with his wife, one that detectives considered a critical clue behind Brandy's death. Meanwhile, as detectives interviewed Ryland, his account revealed a surprising detail, pointing the cause in a new direction.
She had a little scream, and then I heard 2 gunshots. And I know it was nobody with her. It was just her.
Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah,
Who told you that?
my dad.
Your dad told you that nobody was with her, it was just her?
Yeah, in their bedroom.
Thank you for telling me that.
Ryland's revelation flipped the narrative, shifting a seemingly grieving husband into the role of the prime suspect. Detectives were convinced that Keith was hiding a crucial piece of the puzzle, one that could bring them closer to the truth. Determined to uncover the truth, they prepared for an intense confrontation.
I think that we're at the point of where we need to have a little bit of a harder conversation.
Okay.
Because as much as I want to believe that the guns fell and went off and shot her, what we have at the scene just doesn't show that. This is your opportunity to help yourself and to lay it all out for us, because there's a backstory. This isn't the story.
This is the story. And I'll get a lawyer and I will prove that this is the real story.
Okay. And you are completely entitled to that.
Ask Ryland. I mean, that's all that happened.
We did ask him.
Okay.
And you know what he told us? Do you want to know?
Yeah, because I wasn't up. So.
He told us that he heard his mom scream.
I heard no screams at all. None.
Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
He has been known to tell fibs, yes.
Does he tell you on the regular that his mom screams in the bedroom?
No.
Has he ever told you that his mom screams and it was a lie?
No, not screaming, but he lies about a bunch of other different things. You can ask his real father, and he'll tell you that too.
So why on this date would he lie about his mom screaming in the bedroom?
You guys can try to pin whatever you want on me. She didn't scream.
Listen, dude, nobody's trying to pin anything on you.
I'm just telling you what I heard, man. That's it. What I heard, what I seen. I mean, if you're trying to pin something on me, why would I have called 911?
You have a conscience. That's why. You love your wife. That's why.
So why?
Happens in the heat of the moment. You're not a bad person. You're not a monster.
No.
I am not saying that you're a murderer.
No.
I am not saying that you're a bad person. But what I am saying is, with my training, my experience, and the crime scene, the accident that you're laying out isn't the one that happened. Accidents
I
happen.
feel kind of offended.
I feel offended too, if we're going to go to that level.
I feel really offended that you guys can try to pin an accident on me.
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were getting at with it. I was
Not at all.
When the detectives confronted Keith, his demeanor changed. He grew defensive and visibly offended by the detective's blunt approach. His reaction suggested he wasn't fond of her authoritative demeanor. When she probed his thoughts on justice for Brandy, his answer was bizarre and unexpected.
Is there anything else that you can think of that you think is important for our investigation?
As far as?
As far as anything, as far as getting justice for your wife?
Better gun control schools. Better gun control schools, readily available.
What in the world does that have to do with this?
Listen to me, dude. I know this is a tough day for you. Hopefully this is the worst day of your life, and tomorrow starts something new.
I hope so too.
Okay? We gotta get through this day. You staying here, talking to us, everything's, which is fantastic to show the family.
I mean, I take it like she's trying to pin it on me, and that's, yeah, and I'm very offended.
Okay.
She's not accepting what I saw and what I heard, and you know? And that makes me feel like I'm getting the injustice now.
As Keith realizes that the detective's sharp questioning is closing in on him, he becomes more defensive and yet pretends to remain calm and cooperative. The detective questioned Keith about whether there were cameras installed at his home, viewing it as an opportunity to gain insight and hoping for a breakthrough. Instead, Keith mistakenly revealed something that would later transform the trajectory of the case.
Are there any security cameras installed in your bedroom?
Not in the bedroom, no.
Not in the bedroom.
And the rest of them don't work. They're offline because the batteries are off. And I wish they would have been on because that would have been clarifying a lot of this.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, if something like that, if we would have had that on the video, I cannot even tell you the crazy that I have seen on surveillance cameras.
Sure.
Have to make sure there's nothing like footage on the camera of, and again, forgive me for saying this, but footage of you shooting her or something like that on video. At this point, until they're done with that scene, you just can't be free to leave. I can't let you leave until that time.
Right.
Okay.
Can I have my parents come here to talk to?
When Keith requested to see his parents, it presented a great opportunity for the detectives, as it could help them gain insights during their conversation with him. His statements could either contradict what he previously stated or potentially lead the suspect to confess. However, his uneasy and impulsive behavior revealed what he was trying to hide.
The lawyer? I know. I didn't say you did. But you gotta be prepared for them to try to do that. When there's the main thing, I think, is because it was 2 shots fired. But I know. I'm not saying you did or didn't. I don't know. I don't get out of the shower. Well, that's kind of suspicious too. If you had residue on your hands, you just got out of the shower. Sure. Could have washed all that stuff off. Okay, no witnesses. I mean, and this is what you get for being honest, man. Well, maybe you're being honest. I'm not saying you are or not. I mean, I'm sure you are, but you still have to understand there's a death involved. Well, now listen to me, though. Listen to me. If you did do it, I'm just saying, I believe you didn't, but I didn't. But if you did own up to it, I would have by now. Well, I'm just telling you, if you did it, you own up to it. It'll be better for you. But I didn't. Okay, I believe you. And if I did, I would own up. I've been honest up to this point. I understand. I mean, they want you to think I'm trying to blame you, Keith. I know. I'm talking you man to man because this is the time to do it. Sure. But I'm not going to admit to something that I did not do, okay?
I know you did.
Anyway, no, straight up.
I know.
Okay.
Well, you would never hurt anybody.
I know, and I was here voluntarily.
You have never even hit anybody.
I know.
That's why you keep your mouth shut.
Well, I told you.
Because they can take everything out of context.
For
You're going to be
3 hours.
proven innocent.
I know how to be but it's just like they said, just don't say anything to us.
I know. No more.
Yeah, no more. You're just gonna have to.
I'd lay on the table and go to sleep.
Yeah, they're just doing the job, Keith. But they might be going overboard a little bit, but it does look suspicious. Sure. Even you'll admit that. Sure, but I'm not gonna be accused of something that I really didn't do. Well, you don't have any choice about that. If they accuse you, they accuse you. You have no choice. Just keep your mouth shut and what? You hear me? Yeah. Keep your mouth shut and stay in good spirits.
All right. You guys ready to go?
Our legal obligation at that point is to let him leave.
Due to a lack of potential evidence, the detectives had no choice but to let Keith go. However, the detectives were aware of the cameras installed at Keith's home, which he denied during the interrogation. So now, their only hope rested on the surveillance cameras that could help them provide crucial information for the case. 21 days later, as the detectives obtained the search warrant to review the surveillance footage, what they saw in it was far worse than what they had expected. The footage exposed Keith's darkest nature, revealing a side of him so monstrous that no one could have ever imagined.
Put fish hooks in that, because it's not worth nothing now. Not in my eyes. My eyes, man, you shoot, dude. Multiple times. And only a stupid, cheating scumbag son of a make that same mistake. You the wrong person, dude. That's what made you become a lying, cheating. I will never trust you again. Ever. So you might as well just get out of my life. Do yourself a favor. I want to just hurt you and leave. God knows you deserve it.
I was not.
Doing like this, you should have stayed the away from me, man. I don't know who you think I am. I thought I was. Dude, you up, man. Like bad. It's only a matter of time. You don't care about me.
I do care.
In what way? Yeah, you like me as a father figure, but you don't give a about me.
Yes, I do.
I'd rather kill you than go back to jail. Maybe make you take some sleeping pills and I'll cut off your quick. I'll go to jail for that. Jack figures it. You know what? I'm gonna leave it here to haunt you. Maybe one day you will. You and me, what I didn't. You drove me to think about it, man. My life, my yours.
The footage revealed the domestic, physical, and verbal abuse Brandy had endured before her life ended unexpectedly. The revelations Keith shared with the detectives were significant transgressions and not as minor as he tried to present them. However, this wasn't the only thing that shook the detectives to the core, but another shocking footage came into the spotlight. Keith adamantly claimed that he was with Brandy during her last moments, but the footage revealed a darker story. Instead of trying to save Brandy's life, he was caught hiding drugs to avoid suspicion, betraying his claim to love her more than anything. Everyone was stunned to discover the true nature of Keith. The person they had cherished and relied on was actually the monster behind this devastating event.
Watching the videos of Keith belittling my sister, it was hard. I just wanted to get up and hug her.
3 weeks later, following the incident, Keith was finally arrested. Initially, he was charged with second-degree murder, but when the detectives discovered the footage, his charge was upgraded to first-degree murder. The stories Keith made up from the beginning till the end weren't over yet. During the trial, Keith realized that every piece of evidence had turned against him, so he came up with a new plan.
Well, I woke up and I went to the living room to retrieve my pants because I was thinking about taking a shower. Then I pretty much was in the bathroom, took off my pants, getting ready to step into the shower, and I heard her say "boo," which is the nickname that she uses for me. So I go out there, and she had a weapon in her hand. She said that I was not her husband and I was plastic, and I had walked forward to her, trying to disarm her, and, well, I had grabbed my gun, the one that was in the box. Okay. Mechanic? Yes, correct. Okay. Then I started walking towards her, trying to, say, hey, man, and trying to bark orders and for her to drop it and to disarm her. And then she would not do so. So I got closer and I tried to grab it from her, and she lifted it up and a round went out of my gun on her. Then she cocked and swung as I'm retreating, and another round I pulled off because she was pointing a loaded weapon at me.
From the beginning, all his efforts to save himself, believing he could outsmart the system, were futile, as all his claims were disproved. On October 28, 2021, the Flagler County jury finally reached a final verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant Keith John Johansson as follows to count 1 of the indictment. Guilty as charged as the crime of first-degree murder.
So what led you to call us?
Well, I called today because my son got a hold of me and said, hey, Alex showed up at the house and Gabe left with Alex. So I called the police because I was very concerned.
Lisa's concerns soon turned into a real nightmare.
What's going on with all the blood and stuff?
It was honestly my friend. Bloody nose.
Gabriel and Alec first crossed paths at Walmart in 2016. After dating for 3 years, they exchanged vows in the latter half of 2019. But according to Lisa's 911 call, their marriage was far from happy. Gabriel decided to end their marriage in just 5 months. Lisa possessed crucial information about their tumultuous relationship, details that could make or break the investigation.
And she's been having some problems with threats?
Threats to her life. Some of the things that she was telling me was just very alarming. There has been a lot of things that, as far as text messages, she ended up getting a new phone because he was harassing her. Destroyed her property, everything that she owned. Her animals come up missing. I don't know. I know that she was very scared of him. Very much.
Every word Lisa shared about the couple's turbulent relationship and the harassment Gabriel faced even after leaving Alec sent chills down the spine of the detectives, especially with Gabriel still missing. Based on Lisa's claims, they tried contacting Alec but got no response from him. However, in the hours that followed, as detectives made desperate attempts to find Gabriel, in a shocking twist of events, they received a phone call from none other than Alec himself.
Shelby Police Department.
Hello, I received a call from you guys that I missed.
Who am I speaking with?
Alex Blair.
Okay. I'm calling in regards to a Gabriel Clevenger. Are you currently with her by chance?
No, I'm at work.
You're not with her at all. Have you seen her today?
I saw her earlier. I was talking to her because we were going to try to go to the courthouse for divorce stuff, but she didn't want to, so I left.
Okay. And you don't know where she would have gone?
I don't know anything about that, no.
Okay.
Alec confirmed that Gabriel was not with him. The chances of finding Gabriel seemed to be getting slimmer with every passing minute. But then the detectives found something very suspicious. The Shelby Police Department was determined to track down Alec Blair at his workplace and make contact with him. By now, it was clear that he was likely the only person who could shed light on Gabriel's mysterious disappearance.
Obviously, you know your wife has been reported missing.
Yeah.
So, do you have any idea where she could be or anything like that?
Honestly, I don't really know.
You mind if we look in your vehicle?
That'll be fine.
All right.
Alec stubbornly clung to his story, claiming he had no idea where Gabriel was. But then, the detectives found something that changed his demeanor from casual to a more concerned and worried look.
Have you been cleaning in here lately, or? No? Okay. Why don't we just have a seat in the back of my car? I just wanted to ask you a couple more questions, all right?
A freshly bleached car, hiding the truth about Gabriel's whereabouts and his own terrified face, all suggested one thing. Alec Blair was concealing something deeply disturbing about Gabriel's disappearance.
What's going on with all the blood and stuff?
It was honestly my friend. Bloody nose.
All up in the seat crevices and all over the place?
Yeah. You had it really bad.
The bloodstains in the car were the final nail in the coffin, convincing detectives it was time to take Alec Blair into custody.
So tell me where you guys were living.
We were living in Trailer Park.
Okay.
Out in, it's a Greenwich address.
Okay.
But it's not really Greenwich. It's like 5 minutes from the Crestview schools.
Clayburg Road Trailer Park?
Yeah, Clayburg Road,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we were living there we started in one trailer and then moved into another trailer that was bigger for us.
Okay. And then how long did you stay there?
I was there at the newer trailer we got till about beginning of January.
Okay.
Because she was telling me that, she wasn't happy because a lot of stuff had to do with me. Because I would have anger issues.
Okay.
From childhood and parents divorce and stressed.
Alec admits that his anger issues were a key reason Gabriel decided to move out and pursue a divorce, yet he keeps smiling the entire time. The eerie disconnect between his calm demeanor and his words, especially with all the evidence that's mounted against him, is deeply unsettling.
Yeah, but like beginning of January, I moved out with my mom.
Okay.
Over on Taylortown Road.
Okay.
And I've been living there ever since.
Okay. And then where was she living? You said you moved out, so did she stay in the trailer?
She was staying in the trailer for a while there that I know of, and then she was trying to get a place out here in Shelby, apartment. And I know she was staying with somebody else. It was a friend at first that turned into, something else.
Okay. Now, whose friend? Like your friend or her friend?
It was her friend, yeah.
Okay. And then how'd you hear about that, or how'd you learn about that?
She was the one that told me, actually, all about that.
Okay. I don't know what she said. She was just talking to a guy, or...
Well, at first she kind of didn't want to say anything, but I was just kind of talking to her and wanting her to tell me, the truth, just tell me. And she said she was talking at first that I know of, and then basically that's all I really know. They were talking. They met, it was sometime last year, because her boss, that's her boss's brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alec is talking about Lisa when he mentions Gabriel's friend. After Alec moved out, Gabriel endured various forms of harassment and threats from him, forcing her to seek a safe haven. Lisa, with her kind heart, provided the safety, and in the process, Gabriel grew close to Lisa's son, CJ. But for Alec, the situation was far from peaceful. Behind his calm facade, Alec is hiding way more than the detectives anticipated. Alec's portrayal of the situation is far from the truth.
Hello. Hi, did someone call for us tonight?
Yes, me.
You did? Okay. Do you want to come outside or me come in?
You can come in 'cause my dog was freaking out.
What's going on tonight?
Well, me and my husband are planning on getting divorced.
Okay.
And he moved out. And we've been trying to be civil and stuff, and he dropped me off, and he just kept lingering around, and I just don't really want him sitting here and stuff. And he got all mad and freaked out and slammed all my stuff down, slammed my lamp down, and smashed it and broke my table.
Okay. And you guys are still married? Okay.
So if he walked in the police department right now, you wouldn't know who he was?
I could probably tell who he was, because, I've seen, his Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you looked him up on Facebook. And you have a general idea of what he
looked
like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when you found out that she was, talking to him, what was the status of your relationship at the time?
I was single, I guess. Even though I was still, legally married.
Okay. But, did you guys have, an understanding, we're going to see other people, or we're separated?
It was hard for me at first.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got really depressed with everything, just because I wasn't ready, and she was basically the first person I fell in love with.
Sure.
So it was just kind of hard for me to get used to it, but as of right now, I know my dad was trying to hook me up with some girl.
Okay.
Yeah, so
this was last month that all this happened?
Last month, coming into beginning of this month.
Okay, all right. Give me an approximate date when you think she moved over here.
I want to say by around the end of January.
Okay, all right.
I can think of it. Yeah, because what happened was she was staying there, but she wasn't there the one night, and someone broke into the trailer.
The trailer where? Your original trailer that you guys were living at?
Second trailer we got.
Okay.
Someone, I guess, ended up breaking in, and they didn't take anything, but they did break a lot of stuff.
Huh.
And I knew they decided they wanted to take a pee on the floors, I guess, from what I was told. And she had the Richland cops come there tell her that she probably shouldn't be staying there. You know, probably stay with a friend or her sister or something.
So she told you, like she called you and tell you that, hey, the trailer was broken into, or?
I found out about it because our landlord called me and said the door was open. And so he was wondering how to get a hold of her. I just told him to call her work boss. And I messaged her and asked her what was going on, and told me all that.
Okay, all right.
What Alec doesn't grasp while sitting in the interrogation room is that the detectives are already one step ahead. As Alec tries to put on a composed facade, the police already know he has crossed multiple lines, stalking and threatening Gabriel's new boyfriend, and even sending explicit photos of his estranged wife to them in his efforts to harass the couple. They are also aware that the so-called burglary at Gabriel's trailer was performed by Alec as a way to scare and harass Gabriel.
So, when's the last time you saw her?
This morning, actually.
Okay, tell me about that. How did you see her this morning? Why did you see her this morning?
Well, because I was messaging her on Facebook because I wanted to go to the courthouse so we can figure out anything with a divorce, you know, how much it's going to cost, all that stuff. Well, she didn't really want to at first, but I was trying to talk her into it just so we can get it all done and over with.
Okay.
And then when I did get her, you know, we went to the car. I started going for a little bit, but she just wanted to try to start arguing. I really wasn't in the mood to argue just because I was tired. You know, I told her, I was like, I'm not really in the mood to argue right now. I just want to go get this done and go to work. Well, she wanted to continue arguing, and then she told me she wanted to get out of the car, so I just was like, okay. So she got out of the car. It wasn't too far from her house, her boyfriend's house, or whatever. You know, I decided to go home.
The detectives have given Alec plenty of chances to explain his side of the story and come clean, but he chooses to lie at nearly every turn. Now it's time for the detectives to shift gears and confront him head on.
I mean, you seem like a good guy, being cooperative with us here, so we want to shoot you straight to here and put all our cards on the table, because obviously we want to find her.
Right.
All right? I'm just going to break this down real short and simple. All right? One of our officers from the sheriff's office, and I wasn't there when this happened, I'm just going by the information that was given to me, okay? They apparently got a look inside your car at some point in time doing follow-up for this case for Shelby Police Department, okay? Yeah. And the officer that had a look inside your car saw what he believed was blood and what looked like blood had been cleaned up. Okay? Yeah. Now, I'm also told that somebody said something to you about this, and you said a friend of yours had been in the car and had a bad bloody nose, and that's where it came from. Yeah. Is all that accurate? Yeah. Okay. Here's the deal. You need to be honest with us about this. All right? Yeah. Because we can DNA test that blood. Right. We can verify that it's hers and not this friend. Right. Which I don't know who this friend supposedly is. We'll get to that a little later. But we can check that. Very easily find out if it's hers or not. Right. Okay? We can also subpoena all your phone records and find out if you have been in contact with this CJ or her or whatever it is you've said to them. Okay? I get you guys are going through a bad divorce. Okay? Right, yeah. People say things that aren't pretty. We've all done it. All right? It's no. We don't care about that. Right. All right? We've all been there, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. All right? The point I'm getting at here is all this stuff here, if you're lying about it, it's extremely easy for us to prove that you're lying about it. Right. Because we can test DNA, because we can subpoena phone records and verify all this. All right? They also did a ping on her cell phone, and it pinged off a cell tower not too far from where you work at.
Oh, really?
This is the first time Alec is caught off guard. His body language immediately changes when the detectives tell him about the possibilities and how easy it is to get all his claims verified.
So, you pick her up from 2nd Street. You go down 2nd Street. What direction do you turn?
take that. I'm going down 2nd Street and take that left.
Okay.
Go down towards a stop sign.
Okay.
Take another left, and then it's basically we're just going straight towards where the main road and everything is. Like Taco Bell, Wendy's.
Okay.
Going down there. Going the turn lane right there towards where Taylortown is. Turn down Taylortown.
All right.
We got to the point, where I did hit her.
Okay.
And then I did turn down where the golf course and everything, and towards that dead end. That's where I left her.
Okay. So after you hit her, she's bleeding everywhere. Is she immediately unconscious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then tell me again what you did. I'm just trying to understand the sequence of events here.
Like where I hit her?
Yeah.
Went like that.
Okay.
Here.
Alright. She starts bleeding real bad. And that's the blood that's in your car right now.
Right.
It's not this other made up friend that you said had a nosebleed. Okay, it's her blood. We got that. Alright. So she's unconscious. What do? You go around the other side of the car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what happens?
That's when I take her out to the cornfield.
Okay. And then, so she's out in the cornfield. Is she on her stomach? Is she on her back?
On her back, like Cindy.
Okay, alright. And what do you do, to check for signs of life?
Her pulse, and then try to check her breathing.
Okay. But she wasn't breathing?
It was kind of hard.
Okay.
Like, it was coming out, but it was...
Okay, is it like gurgling? Like blood coming out of her mouth? Gurgling sound?
Honestly, don't think there was any gurgling sound now.
Okay. And you checked for her pulse where?
Right here on her arm.
Okay, alright.
Alec now does confess to hitting Gabrielle and leaving her in the woods. It's unsettling how calmly he confesses to this violent act. But this is just the beginning. Moreover, there is something that is not making sense. The amount of blood found in his car still does not match his story. Watch how the detectives confront him about this.
While you're being a little more honest with you, this still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay? You hit her. While it's not a good thing,
right?
It's not the end of the world.
Right.
Okay? It would have been, I don't care if you know CPR or not.
Right.
I don't care if you have any first aid knowledge whatsoever.
Right.
You're not out in the no civilization.
Right.
You're mere minutes from Shelby, Shiloh,
right.
places with people that you can take her to get help.
Right.
You got phones you can call.
Right. Yeah.
At the very least, if you were that concerned about it, you could have at least called and then drove off after giving them a location.
Yeah, I should have done that. I know I should have.
Well, here's why I think you didn't. I think she was already dead when you pulled her out of that car and dumped her in the field. And you figured, I don't think anybody was at the house when I picked her up. Nobody probably saw me with her. If I just get rid of her, scrub the car down, there's not going to be enough people or enough information to say, yeah, I was with her this afternoon. You just figured you'd take your chances and hope nobody figured it out.
She wasn't dead at all.
She wasn't dead at all. But this is at 12:30.
Right.
And mind you, we're talking over a 12-hour time lapse here now when we're talking. Okay? Today was rainy. It was cold.
Right.
It was foggy. So you're concerned about what's going to happen if people find out you hit her.
Right, yeah.
She's still alive. But yet you just dump her in a field in this cold weather where if she's unconscious, she's got more than a fair chance of freezing to death before anybody finds her. But your concern is you just don't want anybody to find out that you hit her.
Yeah.
This is where it makes no sense.
It was just concerning me, just because hitting a woman, that was the big deal for me.
But you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
It's more than just hitting.
Right.
Okay? I think you're smart enough to realize that, hey, I can get her help. I can take my take my hit for domestic violence if she files charges out of this. take my first degree misdemeanor and go home, no big deal.
Right.
All right. I don't think, as smart as you are, you'd go to that lengths to cover up a misdemeanor offense of violence. It doesn't make any sense.
I wasn't thinking, honestly.
She was dead when she came out of that car, wasn't she?
Last I knew, she wasn't.
The detectives quickly expose Alec's lie. Although he insists the attack on Gabriel was impulsive, they see through his act. He had a clear chance to get her help, but instead, he let her suffer. It is obvious that Alec wanted to hurt Gabriel, and he wanted her to feel every bit of it.
Generally, one punch will knock somebody unconscious.
Right.
So, I need to know, was it one punch or was it several punches?
It was a couple of them, yeah.
How many do you think?
I don't know. I just kept kind of just going.
Okay, and this is all in the car?
Yeah.
And you're using your right hand. You're going like this?
Yeah, because I was driving with my left.
Okay. All right, so you hit her several times with your fists. Wait, with your fists, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hit her with anything else? A club or a bat?
I had nothing else in the car with me.
Okay. All right. So you drive her out into the field, and you said you're checking for her for breath. At that point, did you put your hand on her mouth to cover it, to just finish it off? This is done. I've come this far.
Honestly, I did put her towards her mouth more.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't try to cover her nose. I could feel that she was struggling to kind of get that out.
Okay, all right. So, but you knew at that point she was dead.
Pretty much, yeah. I figured that she was getting her last whatever.
Last breath.
Last
Okay.
Pump of everything.
You can be struck multiple times with a fist. Okay, you could get knocked unconscious, but it ain't even gonna kill you.
So it got to the point where I went something like that. Might have broke her nose enough to stop her from breathing.
Did you choke her at all?
No.
Did you hit her in the throat at all?
No.
So this is all just here in the face?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you get her in the field and you think she's still alive, but you know she's dead.
Basically, yeah, she's getting to that point.
You knew she was dead?
Yeah.
This might seem like the final confession, as it appears to give the detectives everything they need, but the Shelby Police Department is about to uncover something even more disturbing. Something that would finally connect all the missing pieces. After what appeared to be Alec's final confession, the detectives persuaded him to reveal the exact location where he left Gabriel. They braced themselves for the best-case scenario, finding her injured, or the worst-case scenario, finding her frozen to death. But what they discovered was far worse than they had imagined.
He said it was in a field.
This discovery shattered the hopes of those who believed Gabriel might have survived Alec's attack. There were no silver linings left for the detectives to pursue. Only one goal remained: justice. And to achieve it, they needed to confront Alec one final time.
In short, the reason why we're here right now is have a few follow-up questions, just things we'd like to ask you, get clarified. So, one last big piece of the puzzle here. You're not being honest about the manner in which she was killed.
Right.
So you agree with me, we're not being honest about that.
Yeah.
How did you kill her?
Just picked her up, went to my house on Taylortown, where I was going to grab my lunch and stuff. Went up to get my headphones, and I grabbed this pocket knife, and went back outside, got back in the car, and I don't know what got into me to do anything. I didn't want to do anything, honestly, to her at all. But then, when she was answering the questions I was trying to give to her, it just kind of
blacked out, and I decided contemplating, honestly, with that.
Contemplating hurting her?
Yeah.
This pocket knife you had, did you stab her with it?
Yeah.
Okay, how many times did you stab her with it?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you how many times. That's when I kind of blacked out.
Did you stab her until she was dead?
Yeah.
All the lingering questions were answered once Gabriel's body was found. Another life tragically lost to marital violence. What made it even more heartbreaking was that Gabriel had tried to protect herself. She recognized the warning signs and had taken the necessary steps to try and stay safe. Detectives later uncovered that Gabriel had filed for a protection order against Alec on January 22, 2020. However, in a cruel twist of fate, the Richland County Domestic Relations Court denied her request less than a week before her death. In the end, the system failed to foresee and protect her from the danger that lay ahead. In October 2020, Alec pleaded guilty to all charges in the case. He admitted to aggravated murder, 3 counts of murder, 4 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts each of felonious assault and abduction, as well as tampering with evidence and gross abuse of a corpse. On January 22, 2021, Common Pleas Judge Phil Namoff handed down a 45-year prison sentence.
Yeah, we've been shot. Where are you at? We're in the basement. They killed my wife. Oh, sir, what's your name? Hello? What is your name, sir? What's your last name? Lewis.
John and Carla lived at 1429 Lawndale Avenue in Nile Township, Michigan. John and Carla's journey began in the early days of 2007, leading to their marriage in 2012. However, John's relationship with Carla's daughters from her previous marriage and her relatives remained distant. Yet the couple thrived in their marriage with minor ups and downs. The couple developed a marijuana plantation space cleverly concealed behind a makeshift bookshelf in their basement. This is where Carla was shot. According to John's initial claims, Carla went to meet her mother on the weekend. As she came back in the afternoon of August 13, 2017, John and Carla were relaxing in their hall and then went to their basement to tend to the plants. This is when 2 African-American men who were already hiding in the basement came out of their hiding and started shooting. Carla was shot in this incident that led to her death. Detectives had just one question at this point. How did John miraculously escape the shooting unharmed within the tight confines of the basement? To get an answer, detectives brought him into custody.
She went to her mom's. Her mom. We were sitting on the couch talking about food. And said she wanted to go to bed early. I said, help me move my plant.
Okay, let's just back. We're going to go through this whole slow here, okay?
Up to this point, John, the only witness, maintains a calm demeanor. While this could be his natural response to a traumatic incident, some aspects of it look staged. However, beneath the surface, the detectives are suspicious. Given the tight confines of the basement, John surviving unharmed seems impossible. If shots were fired openly, John should have been hit. Surely the puzzle was missing some pieces.
Long time, maybe 8. It got in 2008.
Mary, when did you get married? 2008? Okay. And how long have you known each other?
It was years before we got married.
10 years?
Oh,
5 years?
4 or 5 years.
So you've known her for about 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So she went to visit her mom today. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, all weekend.
Okay. Tell me, when did she leave the house? When did she leave the house?
Friday.
Okay. What time did she leave about? Or give or take, it doesn't have to be.
I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock.
So she left Friday, went to go visit her mom. What time did she come home? Tell me slowly now. So she comes home, tell me what happened. Have you talked to her this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said she's going home, and she got there. And we were sitting there talking about the truck, and about her business. She said she wanted to go to bed, and I said, help me move this first.
What time did she get home? Give or take.
It was early. It was, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock. We were there for an hour. We sat there, we sat on the table, we smoked and talked about her trip.
So tell me what happened.
My fault.
It's your fault?
I froze up. I just froze.
While John confidently talks about owning a medical marijuana store funded by his wife Carla, his tears don't quite match both his demeanor and the evidence. Despite claiming to have known Carla for 15 years and being married to her for 10, he couldn't recall her mother's name. His explanation of what happened on the day of the incident comes in bits and pieces, as if he's carefully picking and choosing what to say.
Now think real what happened step by step and go really slow for me.
She said, where? And I said, slide that one back by the wall. I bent down to pull one. And it was just, it wouldn't stop. They just kept shooting into the room.
Who's they?
This guy, this black guy. He just kept shooting. He wouldn't stop. He just kept shooting.
Where were you guys at when the shooting started? You were in the marijuana room?
Yeah. They're in the room. So they didn't see.
Where were the guys at? Were they downstairs or up on where were they at? Tell me where
they
they
had been in the basement. They had been in the basement. We were up the stairs. I let the dogs out. We were sitting there talking. I said, I'll be moving. We went down and they were there. They were right there.
So you're saying the suspects were already in your house?
They were in my house. They were in that house. Shooting.
How many guys?
I see 2 guys.
Two guys.
Somebody was standing behind that other guy with the gun.
When pressed for more details, John fumbles, unable to give a clear timeline or specific answers. He kind of puts up a show of sobbing bitterly to make his claim sound more real. Here in this section of the interrogation, he introduces his version of the event, where 2 African American guys were already hiding in the basement, while the couple were upstairs on the couch. What's interesting here is having a store with medical marijuana plants needs good security. So, was John careless about it? Or did he already know about the presence of these 2 men?
What'd you do today? Just kind of go what you went through today.
I went and looked and checked on the truck, and he needed some tape. I got him some tape.
Your truck in the garage?
Yeah. It was that thing I shot. And then I had lunch, and he's like, the truck's done. And so I've been working horses. I was driving it around.
Okay. Was your truck at the house or somebody else's house? Somebody came over to fix your truck? Is that what?
No.
Tell me what happened.
A couple weeks ago, they messed my truck up.
Okay. Who's they? But
I don't know.
Okay. So your truck got messed up.
Vandalized it.
Okay.
And then I had it painted. And I just got it back today.
So you went and picked up your truck today?
Yeah,
okay.
My truck.
Who was fixing your truck?
Yeah.
Oh. What's your real name?
What do you mean?
Where's you at?
I don't know. He's got that shop right by right by my shop, that building, those rental buildings. He's got a building there.
Was there working about a month or two ago?
What?
He works there? He does a paint, he's a paint guy, right?
He painted my truck.
Where did he paint your truck at?
At his shop.
Where's his shop at?
It's by my shop, right there by the restaurant.
Okay.
No, it's behind it. There's buildings. Right when you go past the buildings, there's a shop. I mean, there's shops. There's a bunch of shops.
Is it back? I'm trying to think where.
It's not.
You know his last name?
He told me, but I forgot.
I
got shot in the head.
Huh?
I got shot in the head a while. I don't remember stuff yet.
It's not. Is that?
So.
Huh?
I think so.
John's story about the mystery car service center falls apart fast when the detectives start asking questions. He's unable to give basic details, like its location and name, leaving the detectives frustrated. And just when they think they're getting somewhere, John pulls out his drama, making the detectives visibly irritated. It's quite clear by now that John's strategy to create diversion is to present himself as the victim with acting skills that clearly aren't helping him much.
Let's go with the suspect's description here. I'm going to put suspect with a gun, shooting, okay?
He was big.
Black male, white male? Let's start there.
Black male.
Black?
Taller than me, very dark.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
So how tall would you think he is? A couple inches taller? Or around 6'2"-ish? Big guy, when you say big, how much do you think he weighed, give or take? I mean,
I don't know. His arms were big.
200, 220, 250?
More than that. I weighed 2 something.
So he's bigger than you?
Way bigger.
So are we talking 275, 300 pounds?
Yeah. And he was really, really dark.
Dark skin?
Really dark.
Not any facial features? Any like facial hair?
No facial hair.
So he's clean shaven?
Yeah. Short hair.
Then when you say short hair, like buzz cut? I mean, just short hair?
Yeah.
What was he wearing? I don't remember.
I don't know. It was long sleeve, dark, and a hat. He had a hat on.
What kind of hat?
Like a truck hat, trucker's hat.
We're talking like a mesh hat, trucker's hat?
Just like a cap, like a baseball hat, like just a hat.
Okay.
Thing.
What color? If you remember. Or any logos on it or anything?
Black and white. It's so quick.
Did he have shorts on, pants on?
Pants. Jeans didn't look like jeans.
Okay. Long pants?
Yes.
Anything about the shoes or anything?
No.
Did you see the other guy?
Just like around, like he was like behind that dude's shoulder. He was shorter than him.
Would you recognize these guys if you seen them again?
The guy, the gun, maybe.
The gun? What kind of gun did he have?
I don't know. It's just, as soon as I looked, I was down, and it was just flash, flash. He just kept shooting.
Now you know the difference between an automatic and a revolver, right?
I don't know.
Do you remember did you see the gun go, oh, was it a color? You can remember color, silver, what? I mean, anything about the weapon at all?
It was just flash.
Okay. Do you remember if he was shooting right-handed, left-handed, anything? I mean, anything in particular?
I think right.
John tries to paint a vivid picture of the intruders, but fails to build sense out of his claims. His behavior and vague responses raise concern. Despite detailing their physical appearance, his distress and reluctance to discuss details like their attire or weapon creates doubt on his account. It looks like he's trying hard to twist the truth. This only deepens the suspicion among the detectives.
You know I got a job to do. My job is to bring justice for your wife, okay? I want to eliminate you so there's certainty. If you guys got pissed, let me know. If something happened, you know what I mean? If things went haywire and it was an accident, you got to let me know, man. Okay.
I want to go see her. So,
you shouldn't have no gunshot residue on your hands at all, right? Okay. There's no weapons at all in your house? Okay.
There's like my kid's old BB.
No, okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. So I got a tech that can take samples off your hands. There won't be no gunshot residue. That's good. Okay. There may be a time where we have to go take a quick polygraph to make sure you're telling me the truth. Okay. We've got to eliminate you. Okay. I have to eliminate you. Because the only person I know at that house at that time was you. You know what I mean? You're there. Okay. Once we eliminate you, we got full.
I can go see her.
Yeah, we got to eliminate you. And you got to come to me and say, dude, or whatever, it was an accident, so we don't be chasing, ghosts. You know what I mean?
John adamantly denies owning any firearms, but a startling revelation in this video will challenge the course of the interrogation completely. The first detective tries to give him the benefit of the doubt, thus offers him a DNA test and polygraph test. John's hesitation to fully participate highlights his resistance to facing the consequences. Watch how detectives break his wall of denial and lies after the break.
We're going to go through this whole incident again because we want to be precise, okay? What is the address there? I thought you told me that, and maybe I didn't write it. And who's the owners of that? Just you? You and your wife? Is your wife? Or what kind of building is it? Is it like a showroom type? I mean, you walk in, and so you've been married since 2008? You've known her for a total of about 15 years.
The detectives came back with a burst of energy. They appeared strong-headed to corner John with significant evidence against him. The close-ended question says it all.
You gotta use the restroom or anything real quick, or are you good right now? We're gonna go through this whole incident again because we want to be precise, okay? I want you to go real slow so I can check my notes, okay? You own the right? What is the address there? I thought you told me that, and maybe I didn't write it. And who's the owners of that? Just you? You and your wife? Is your wife? Or? And you sell marijuana supplies. It's not a dispensary, right?
We do meetings and we help patients find caregivers and information. And we do a food bank.
Okay. What kind of building is it? Is it like a showroom type? I mean, you walk in and
it's like a retail building.
Retail place?
Yeah.
Does it have a garage or anything in it, or no garage or anything? Okay.
With John's responses, detectives become increasingly convinced that John is not telling the whole truth. At this point, they've also managed to gather new information and evidence, and the stance of the interrogation will change from here onwards. If you notice, the second detective was mostly working his laptop and phone as he was looking into all the evidence that was being collected from John's house while the interrogation was being carried out.
So you're moving around. So take me back when you're upstairs. You decided to go move. Take me what happened. So you're going. I'll let you talk now. You're going downstairs. Let me know what's going on.
We walked down
there. Okay. You too?
Yeah.
Okay. Lights on? Dark? Where are we going? Lights are on? So help me. You know how to draw your basement?
Yeah.
Yeah, help me out here. Let me get a piece of paper and you can show me what the basement's looking like.
Like these stairs.
Okay, this is how I did it. Well, the stairs, like we got stairs, okay.
It's just a square.
So this is upstairs?
Yeah, this is upstairs. This is a bedroom.
So this is downstairs. This is all downstairs.
This is a bedroom. There's a bedroom or utility, whatever, and then the laundry room.
So when you come downstairs, you immediately go to the right?
Yes.
And then there's a room off there.
Yes.
There's a utility room here.
Yes.
What's this again?
It's like it's another room.
Utility. Bedroom here, you said?
Yes.
What's the spiral down there?
That's like it could be bedroom. It's just a room.
Okay.
The well and stuff.
Okay. Well, where are your plants at here?
In this utility right here, there's a spot.
Okay. Is there access to this room through here? Or you have to go through the utility room.
Try to go through there.
So you come. So there's like a little door or something here to get into this room here.
Yeah.
So you guys come downstairs. Is this? And where do you go?
We go to the utility room to go into that room.
Okay. So you're in this utility room.
Yeah.
What happens?
I told her, she's like, where do you want them? I said, move this one over here and this one over here. And I bent down to pull this one. And she screamed. I looked up and it was just, all I seen was blasting.
And where were the guy with the gun?
Right here in front of that door.
As detectives use the repetitive questioning technique, this section unfolds with the detectives subtly encouraging John to take the lead, instilling a false sense of confidence. However, John's reluctance to speak suggests he's struggling to maintain his fabricated story. In the following section, detectives confront John with information that immediately changes his body language. Watch closely.
So I'm on 11th, okay? We drive by my right. We got don't we have like some kitchen or restaurant there at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go past there.
Just right past that.
And it's to the right?
Yeah.
And these are like little shops? Which one does
I'm not sure it's down on the end.
How many shops are there?
Oh, there's a bunch.
Who's the owner of that place?
Yeah, you think they were like rental storage units, but they run businesses out of them.
Right, that's what he did on
Mm-hmm.
So what would you and talk about? Anything or just hang out or what?
I asked him about if he was getting that wall knocked out.
Did you give him anything?
No.
Nothing? Didn't give him a bag? We're talking to right now. He says you gave him a bag.
I ain't giving him a bag, no.
He says he gave you a bag, man.
I didn't saw him no weed or nothing.
No, I'm not talking weed. Some ammo. You gotta be honest with me.
Yeah.
We gotta be honest together, dude. You're hiding on me, man. We gotta. Let's be honest. What happened today? You gotta be honest, man. We got a job to do.
We do this for a living, pal.
I know.
We do this for a living, okay? No, stop. We do this for a living. What you're telling us doesn't fly. We've got detectives talking to right now. He says you met with him at 4:30 today, and you told him go to the shop, get a bag of ammo and magazines, which he has turned over to us. All right? This is your time to be honest. We don't judge you. We sit here with a lot of people. I'm the last person, Rick's the last person judge. We don't judge you, but this is your time to tell the truth, okay? Because what you've been telling us so far, that is not the truth, man. I'm telling you, listen, talking to us right now. You're telling us that she got there, nobody left. Your neighbor is already telling us that you pulled out that vehicle about 4 o'clock today in her car, the CRX. She said that CRX pulled out of your driveway.
I pulled out of that
And you're telling me that it never left.
No.
So,
I
Well,
told
what
them
you
the
tell
car
us-
was gone.
What you're telling us it happened, didn't happen.
Who drove the car out?
That's what I'm talking about.
What?
That's whoever was shooting.
Well, the neighbors are saying at 4:10 today, that vehicle is leaving.
And the 911 call wasn't until 4:56. How you figure that?
I can't tell you about time. I already told you.
No, we're telling you about time.
We're talking about, right, we're telling you times.
So,
We're talking about 2 hours difference here.
well, I'm sorry about that time difference. I wasn't perfect about my time things.
So you're telling me that after your wife gets shot, she's laying there, you sat there for 2 hours before you called 911?
No, I did not.
Then why is your neighbor saying that your vehicle left at 4?
My phone.
I don't care about the phone. I'm talking about what your neighbor's saying.
No way.
And then we got telling us something different.
No.
So, I mean, that's the deal. Your story is not tied up. We can look at the evidence that happened downstairs. What you're telling us didn't happen.
Look at my phone. I called.
We don't need to look at the phone.
I called immediately after that happened.
We don't need to look at the phone. We're talking about physical evidence downstairs.
The rounds, everything. Things aren't adding up. Things aren't adding up at all.
During a break in the interrogation, detectives received a call from Justin Hicks, a construction worker in John's business. John disclosed that John had contacted him at approximately 1:53 p.m., requesting his presence at John's residence. John had given Justin the store keys and instructed him to retrieve ammunition from the store, which Justin stored in his car. Justin then handed over 8 boxes of Russian-made 9mm ammunition and a magazine for a 9mm pistol to the police. The revelation prompted a pause in the interrogation, with the discovery that the ammunition matched the casings found at the crime scene significantly. John appeared visibly surprised by this development, suggesting he may not have anticipated being confronted with Justin's statement and had not formulated a response strategy.
I don't know.
Was it accidental?
What?
When you shot your wife, was it an accident?
I went away right now. I didn't shoot my wife.
Was it an accident, though?
I didn't shoot my wife.
Then tell us what happened, because what you're telling us, it didn't happen.
I'll tell you what happened. There were people in my house.
Who are these people?
I don't know. It was a black. They were black and big. The dude with the gun was black and big. Bigger than me.
Why did you give this ammo?
I just want to talk to a lawyer. If you guys are already telling me, you're already accusing me of this, and I didn't do it.
We can only go with the evidence. I mean, we're just looking for a state. Why is he handing over evidence to us?
What are you talking about, evidence?
Ammo, magazines.
Mary, that was his. Mary. Oh my God, I can't.
Despite the truth being apparent, John continues to cling to his version of events, failing to accept the reality. But this is where his drama ends. Carla's autopsy report revealed a shocking story. She was shot 5 times, with one of those shots being deadly, all from the same gun Justin Hicks handed over. And guess what? Text messages found on their phones matched up perfectly with what Justin said. Turns out, Carla was the one keeping John's failing business afloat, which caused a lot of tension between them. As things heated up, secrets started to come out. It was found that Carla had a hefty life insurance policy and retirement funds, with John as the main beneficiary, hinting at a pretty dark but clear motive. And if you thought that was wild, get this. John was having affairs with other women online, one of whom confirmed his shady ways. On February 19, 2019, John Lewis was charged with the premeditated murder of his wife, Carla Lewis. John drugged Carla with Xanax and then shot her multiple times at their home. On March 25, 2019, he was sentenced to life imprisonment in the Berrien County Court, Michigan. Had it not been for Justin Hicks and his statement, do you think a man like John, who used a woman for 15 years, would have gotten away with such a horrendous crime? Let us know in the comments. For more such exclusive content, like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Real Crime Psychology.